Hey my loves, welcome back for another video. If you're tuning in for the first time, I'm Ashley and today we're slaying another lace wig. Now this one comes courtesy of Unice and I'm so excited to finally be teaming up with them. They sent over this 24-inch 180% density Brazilian straight lace wig, and of course she has the ombre highlights in the very front. So as you guys can see, I've put her on and she fits amazing. I did not get a elastic band sewn in, but they did provide it in the packaging. I'm gonna go without this time around since I am gonna be bonding her down, and as you guys can see, it fits nice and snug off the bat. Also, I'm gonna go in with my electric hot comb and kind of press out the edges. This one is pre-plucked, but in the very beginning you really can't tell until you press it out, and then you can see it's pretty decent. I'm not going to do any customizations as far as that goes, so I wanted to show you and give you a great view off the bat that you don't always need to pluck and tweeze unless you just really want to. So now that we have everything and prepped and sitting right and all of that greatness, we're going to install. So today we're going to be using the Got to Be Glued spray. I think I ran out, so I did use another product as well. All products and details are listed in the description box as always. Always have a rag near to clean up anything, especially if you have on makeup. You don't want that Got to Be Glue running down your makeup and messing everything up. Here I just went ahead and cut 2 slits into my lace, kind of to section it off into 3 sections. Working on the center section first, I went ahead and added a nice thin layer of the Got to Be Glued freeze spray. I'm gonna go ahead and let that get tacky, and then I am going to go on top of that and pretty much apply the lace. I pressed it in really good, and then I blow dried on a cool setting until I felt it really tight, really firm, really dry. And when I say tight, I don't mean like it's gonna squeeze your head, but it's almost like when it dries, it does like slightly squeeze your head so that it feels like the wig is installed and not just sitting there. Hopefully that makes sense. After that, I just kind of went in and cleaned up any pieces of the lace that may not have been bonded down, or you know, just with stray pieces in general. I'm gonna work on the left, I think this is my left side. No, this is my right side. And again, I just went ahead and applied another thin layer. Chase it kind of with a rag or your finger and kind of just guide it to where you want it to go. Once you have it in place, you cover the glue or gel or spray with the lace and make sure everything looks and fits really good. Kind of comb the hair back so everything is in the direction you want it to go, and then I'm gonna go in and blow dry again on a cool setting and just kind of work it until the entire lace is dry. And like I said before, you'll know it's dry because you can kind of feel it grip your face or your hairline a little bit more. It kind of feels tight, but again, it's not like a painful tight or too tight. It just feels like it's gripping your hairline as it should be. So after that, I'm going to just go ahead and cut off the excess lace and clean it up with the scissors. The closer you get with the razor, the less you'll have to clean up. But I have found in the past that I cut so close that I kind of cut my So just be careful and mindful when installing your wigs. If you're using scissors, razors, glue, hot tools, just anything that you're using, just be mindful of what the negative effects as far as cutting your skin. A hot tool can burn you and all of that. Just be very, very cautious, be patient, take your time, and if you need a break, definitely take a break. So now my wig is officially installed, and honestly that's become one of the easiest steps for me. Now we're going to go ahead and slay the actual wig by styling. I'm going to start off with baby hair. You can definitely see around the hairline little white edges of the lace, and it looks like the lace is not bonded. It's definitely bonded, it's just more so that the lace is not my exact hair color or skin color rather, so it just looks white around there, but you'll see me fix that in just a moment. You can definitely use lace tint, otherwise just use like products that you have at home like foundation, contour powders and such, and you'll see what I use in just a moment. But again, with the baby hair, I'm gonna just opt for 2 little swoops, like one above each of the arch of my eyebrows, and of course a little sideburn action. I'm going to use mousse also as always. Now I never just apply the mousse recklessly to the wig as I've done today, but I kind of switch it up sometimes. Now I don't like doing this and I don't recommend it simply because the mousse is water based, and when it's water based and you hit that got to be glue gel that you bonded your wig down, it can lift and move and slide. So just be careful and mindful of that. Typically I would just squeeze out a little bit onto the brush step by step, or I'll squeeze out a couple pumps of that mousse onto like my work tray, my work desk, and just keep dabbling that brush into there. And this is like a baby hair brush, but a lot of people would just use like a rat tail comb, and I do find that that works good as well. As you guys can see, the swoops are coming out really good, especially around the sideburn. Just make sure they're not too long. You can always go back in and cut them shorter after you like form your swoops. You'll see exactly how much hair you need. Then you can go back in and just cut it, which I'm going to do in just a moment. Now you guys know, as of late, I've been loving to use an elastic band, just a thin strip of it, to go ahead and lay down my lace. I like this a lot because the elastic kind of pulls taut, and I feel like it helps to make the lace look as if it's melting and coming right out of my skin. So while that goes in and set, I'm going to go in quickly and just straighten out the rest of the hair. This hair definitely holds heat, so I kind of chase it with the rat tail comb simply because, again, it holds heat, and if you touch it after you flat iron, it is extremely hot. Again, beware of things like that when installing. Now, one thing I love is the highlight and the way it's done with this wig. You guys have definitely seen me do this in the past on wigs myself. It's been a while. I think I haven't done this since I lived in my old apartment, so I'll definitely try to find some of my old videos and link them. But I love the way this looks on me. It's a little bit of a change, a little bit of color, but it's definitely super subtle and definitely brown girl friendly. Also, as I said before, this one did come in a 24-inch. It's nice long. It's definitely super full. I believe they sent over 180% density, but honestly it feels like 200 just because it's full. It's not sparse in any places at all. The only downside is that you'll get a little bit of frizziness simply because those blonde highlights are dyed and bleached. So typically when you use bleach and dye, it'll make the hair a little bit more frizzy, but I'm just going to use a little bit of serum and that's going to cancel that out super easy. I'm also going in with a powder. I believe here I was using a foundation powder, and you have to be very careful with foundation powders a lot of the times depending on, you know, your complexion. But for me, I'm an NW in MAC, which is a little bit more warm tone, so a lot of times my powders come up red on the hairline. So kind of just do a spot test in one spot and see that it matches. If it doesn't, I always recommend a contour powder, because typically a contour powder is cool toned, so it won't come up red at all. Just, you know, dibble and dabble and experiment and find what works for you. But the lace in the meantime is coming out super awesome. I went in with the hot comb probably for the third time. You guys know I just continue to work with what I have until I get the results I want. And in this case, you know, it took me a couple times to get it, but of course I got it right. So my baby hair was a little bit uneven. I went ahead and added a little board to the opposite side to make it look a little bit more symmetrical. I went ahead and just finesse and primped. I like it when my baby hair is brushed out. Last step is going to be to add a little bit of a concealer to the parting. You guys see the parting is not you know, the best, and that is because they kind of just make it a little bit more dented. You can go in and tweeze it out, or you can do what I did to cheat and pretty much just add a concealer. This is 420 in the concealer by Rihanna. I put it on and it's definitely coming up a little bit bright, so I'm gonna go ahead and just press it in as much as I can and kind of blend it out with a rag, and this definitely made a huge transformation with it. Also, if you don't like the color I use, definitely go with a darker color, but as you guys can see, as I press it in more and more, it begins to blend even more, and that made a huge difference with the parting. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Unice. All the details on this wig and everything I use is in the description box as always. Also, don't forget to subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and like this video for more just like this. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Smooches!